Welcome to Malta, where not inviting a fucking racist to your show can get you a fine. I'm Michael Caden, Bonjour Malta and Gozo. The BA has fined RTK 103 after Andrew Azzopardi called Norman Lowell a racist, saying he will never invite him to his radio program. A report predicts 3 European Parliament seats each for PL and PN, and ADPD wants the police to investigate Rosianne Cutajar's ITS job. The Broadcasting Authority has issued a €1,750 fine after RTK radio presenter Andrew Azzopardi described Norman Lowell as xenophobic and racist. He also said he will never invite him.
In October, Andrew Azzopardi interviewed BA CEO Joanna Spiteri in his program at the church radio station RTK 103. Azzopardi questioned whether any political candidates with problematic views should be legally entitled to appearances in broadcast media. Using far-rightist Norman Lowell as example, he asked whether they have the right to be given space on our stations just because they are candidates. Andrew Azzopardi also made it clear that Lowell, leader of the right-wing Imperium Europa, would never be invited to his program. The Broadcasting Authority actually fined stations for giving space to the racist, Nazi apologist and promoter of racial supremacy. In 2010, the Broadcasting Authority fined PBS €1,164 for inviting Lowell, a person who is known for the fomenting of racial hatred and for their offensive opinions. In 2013, an appeals court confirmed a magistrate court judgment finding Lowell guilty of 3 charges of inciting racial hatred. In 2019, the Broadcasting Authority fined TV channel F Living €1,160 after Lowell appeared there as a European Parliament candidate. However, BA CEO Joanna Spiteri argued last October that one cannot exclude individuals based on particular politics. After Imperium Europa filed a complaint against Azzopardi, Spiteri herself testified during the hearing before the BA board. She agreed that Azzopardi's comments had breached the law and even claimed they were threatening towards the authority. The BA board decided that Azzopardi's comments were out of place and went beyond a simple opinion, but constituted a declaration. It upheld Imperium Europa's complaint against Azzopardi's program and imposed a total fine of €6,410, which includes a suspended fine from 2022. This latest decision raises the question of whether broadcasters will now be fined either way for inviting Norman Lowell and for not inviting the racist.
And RTK 103 has slammed the BA's decision to penalise the station and its presenter Andrew Azzopardi.
The church radio station said the decision of issuing a fine for using the term racist in Lowell's regard was illogical. It highlighted that the far-right leader, convicted by the Maltese courts of inciting racial hatred, is on record describing himself as a racialist. By any dictionary definition, this term simply means racist, RTK 103 said in its reaction on Wednesday evening. It was for these reasons that Andrew Azzopardi used the term racist. The term was not used frivolously or as an insult, but on the basis of incontrovertible evidence. It is therefore a fair and accurate description. The radio station observed that the BA's ruling was a threat to freedom of expression because Azzopardi had expressed an opinion based on facts. This was aggravated by the fact that the potential breach of not giving airtime to Norman Lowell was on a hypothetical scenario which did not take place. Such an approach sets a dangerous precedent for the Maltese media, the church radio station said. The broadcasting watchdog's decision was indirectly defending a person who was criminally convicted by the courts for inciting racial hatred by stating that the station ought to give him airtime to broadcast his racist views, RTK 103 said. Ironically, when that has happened in the past, the same authority fined the stations involved for doing so, it reminded. We have always maintained that racism has no place in the media and will continue to maintain our stand, the church station said. RTK 103 and Andrew Azzopardi have launched a crowdfunding campaign to support the program and the station to consider further legal action. And in other news, Labour and the PN will each secure 3 seats in the upcoming European Parliament elections, according to a report of the ECFR. The European Council for Foreign Relations has predicted a significant shift to the right in the upcoming European Parliament elections in June. A report prepared by researchers Simon Hicks and Kevin Cunningham suggests the Labour Party will lose one of its seats to the Nationalist Party. Labour is predicted to come second, with a significant loss of exactly 15 percentage points when compared to its result in the 2019 European election. The ECFR report forecasts a very slim majority for the PN, with 39.4% of the vote, 39.3% for Labour and only 3.1% for ADPD.
ADPD has called on the Police Commissioner and the Attorney General to investigate Rosianne Cutajar's phantom job at the ITS.
Cutajar should be investigated for embezzlement, conspiracy to commit a crime, money laundering and soliciting money illegally. ADPD chairperson Sandra Gauci and Secretary General Ralph Kassar filed a criminal complaint to the Police Commissioner and the Attorney General. Their complaint is based on the Auditor General's report on Cutajar's fraudulent employment at the Institute of Tourism Studies. In November, the National Audit Office concluded that Cutajar was hired in breach of all policies and procedures and that there was no evidence that Cutajar did any work at all. Any delay in investigating Rosianne Cutajar would only benefit her, ADPD said in its letter to the authorities. The Greens also pointed out that they were the ones who asked the Auditor General to investigate Cutajar's phantom job in March last year. Earlier this month, Prime Minister Robert Abela has opened the door for an official return of Cutajar to the Labour Party. ADPD said the Prime Minister tried to brush away fraud, bad governance and corruption under the carpet.
Well, the weather today feels a bit like Rosianne Cutajar's reputation, cloudy, but also windy with up to 16 degrees. Have a lovely day.